Larry Fink is coming in hot here.
Okay.
And somebody asked him about the ETH ETF, and he kind of gave like a answer, but I think it's the conversation that he started talking about immediately after that I think is a big reveal. Let's watch this clip.
Yeah, this is on the, I guess, crypto favorable banker side. Here he goes.
Do you now expect other cryptocurrency ETFs? Meaning, do you think that Gary, and we'll talk to him later, Gary
like Ethereum.
will have to approve an Ethereum
Yeah.
ETF? And is that a function of something the SEC has to do, or do you think that all these things have to go to court first?
I couldn't respond to that. I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. As I said, these are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. If you want to talk about, think about this. If you had a tokenized security and you have a tokenized identity, you, Andrew, the moment you buy or sell an instrument, it is known. It's on a general ledger that is all created together. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
Okay, so he immediately pivots the conversation to talking about tokenization. And this spread like wildfire throughout crypto Twitter. Like the Chainlink army was like, that's us, baby. And he doubled down on it in another clip where he's just talking about tokenization the whole entire time. Let's watch this second clip.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities around bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual.
Larry Fink wants to tokenize bonds, stocks, and every financial asset that he can. And he's talking about tokenization. He sees the merits of tokenization. And that is the direction that he's taking these conversations. People are asking him about like the Bitcoin ETF, the ETH ETF. And Larry Fink is like, well, have you heard about like tokenization? I mean, he's a leader of Blackrock.
Yeah.
That's where he's steering the ship. That's where it's going.
You know, I think Larry Fink is just telling us exactly what the roadmap is for BlackRock. It's first it's the Bitcoin ETF, then it's the Ethereum ETF, then it's tokenization. Like he's literally telling us the plan. And you know what I think this means? Like David, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. I'm not going to say it's going to happen next year. I would not be surprised to see a BlackRock dollar, a BlackRock stablecoin, okay? BlackRock tokenized assets. Of course they're going to do that, right? Jamie Dimon already is, by the way, at JP Morgan in his like not public blockchain. And I wouldn't be surprised at some point if we see a BlackRock chain, you know, like a layer two.
A private layer two. A private layer two that's the back end of the website.
I think it'll start private and I think it goes public because it's so freaking cheap to go public. Like if you get security, if you get privacy, right, for kind of what they need, right, DA costs are basically nothing. Why not have it audited by the security of Ethereum? Like I think that is an inevitability too. They probably got to get some regulation right, but I mean,
yeah, if they're gonna have a public chain, there will be 0 people on that chain that are not fully KYC'd. And he also talked about identity in that clip. He was like, "Yo, yeah, you have tokenization, and you actually also have digital identity, which is a pretty sophisticated take for a banker." Shout out Larry Fink. Talking about identity is you are pretty far down the crypto rabbit hole if you're talking about both tokenization and identity like standards like DIDs, VCs. We've talked about this on Bankless. But it also scares me. Let it be known. I don't want Larry Fink to be talking about identity on my platforms. I want none of that. Get that away from me.
He's going to. They're going to. So, David, did you catch my my hot take that I gave in the Bankless feed?
Yeah, I was listening to it while I was driving 80 kilometers an hour over a dirt road in the middle of the Patagonia.
Wow, dude, that is badass. That's so cool that we did that. You popped a tire short, like because you're so excited listening to it. You're like,
yeah, it's just like Ryan's spitting fire right now. It's like, oh shit, my tire's flat.
It was. This is on the Bankless Premium feed, so we just put it on a different feed. Bankless citizens get that, by the way, but it was basically like a 7-minute take on how I think right now, like we have an unholy alliance with the bankers, right? And that's great. I'm glad because they're a counterforce to the kind of the regulators of the world who just don't believe in private markets, I suppose. But I'm a bit worried about this alliance because where it leads is possibly AML KYC. Like, I don't think Larry Fink is going to be passionate about DeFi. I don't think he's going to be like, yeah, you know, validators running at home, that's a great thing, right? And so I'm a little bit worried about the next phase of this, David, right? Like, will they try to replicate TradFi? I don't mind if that's there, as long as you don't get rid of free and open crypto. And these people, like Larry Fink, the bankers, all of them, they have tremendous power in DC. This is why the ETF got pushed through, right? So they could do some real damage to a free and open crypto if they wanted to, and if it's in their incentive to. They don't seem to be doing that now, but like, let's just go eyes wide open into this temporary alliance was the take.
Yeah, if they can do whatever they want in their sandbox private layer 2, if they make it public, fine. All of their KYC identity shit should just stay there, and that is the power of Ethereum. Like, do whatever you want on your own chain. I am concerned that they put their weight behind imposing legal restrictions on United States citizens across public chains more broadly. That is my fear.
Like, it would come through in a bill, thou shalt not run validators because they're not AML KYC.
Or like, yeah, if you're a United States citizen, you need to register your DID on Ethereum or something like that.
Your DID,
anyways,
your identity?
Your DID, yeah, your identity.
You got another
take. DID is decentralized identity. If you enjoyed all of that, then you'll absolutely love the Bankless newsletter. Join over 300,000 fellow readers, all for free. Click below to sign up.